Hello, my name is Claude. Today I'm with Irene.
Hi, Chloe.
Hello. And we were at Gurtam Networking with some lectures, the slide presentation and so on. And today we want to share with you our insights from all three presentations and the whole event. So Irene, what's your insight from the first presentation? Because I was late as usual.
So yeah, that's great catching up with you. And the last time we saw each other was obviously at the event. It was my first experience of Gurtam event, so I know that they do many events of like different scope. For different expertises, for project management, for marketing, for software development. I never had a chance to attend one of them, so yeah, that was my first, and I must say I was pleasantly surprised, especially provided that it was dedicated to B2B marketing, not the most exciting of all topics. People tend to think about like B2C marketing more of a star player, and B2B be more of a boring child. And I'm not a marketing professional, so it's not my field of expertise. I was just interested to listen to what people have to say and network and communicate with others. I actually think that you might have some interesting insights, because obviously you're a professional marketing expert, so probably understand more about it. I'm happy to share my insight.
Yeah, about the first presentation, there is no surprise that some video convert more than just static images. It's not surprising, but I think for others participants it was a really great example for high-level conversion from video to the working to the customer attraction and so on. But for me it's not so surprising, because now video is everywhere.
I think the best thing for me was that they shared the real-life case study. Because it's nice to know theory, but as we know, theory and practice are not always matched. So it was great to hear about things that work and things that didn't. And I listened as a business person, as an entrepreneur. And two things from the first presentation that I found curious was the first. I think you were not there when she was talking about it. She talked about different markets, and that initially they were thinking about targeting US market, as it was seen very lucrative due to its size, general feel, scope, etc. However, they found out that the cost of conversion was quite high, and they struggled attracting quality leads. So they did something really cool. And instead of trying to get into US market, they started targeting African countries. They started targeting emerging markets, and they were able to get many fairly cheap leads, as in it was cheap to convert them.
It's interesting because we didn't want to compete in US market, so they find out markets with low competition between B2B companies, and it was a cool idea for them. And the second, what you're talking about, is the build the cool customer path. So they didn't attract customers to their main product, they attract customers to their free webinar, lectures, meetings and so on. And at these events their sales team connected clients, potential clients, and that's why they were and now are so successful.
They are where they are, and on the surface it could be seen as counterintuitive, because obviously the company can get more expensive contracts and more lucrative contracts in US. However, they chose to go into smaller markets, into more developing economies, and revamp their whole strategy around it, and it brought amazing results. And another thing that it resonated with me, that was my experience as well, And I thought that I was doing something wrong. So when I listened to the person who was expert in her field coming out and saying, you know what, it just doesn't work. It was like aha moment for me, like, okay, so that just doesn't work. It's not something that I did wrong. And that was using LinkedIn for lead generation. I tried it myself in the past, and it went down as a lead balloon. So from my experience, LinkedIn is great for building your reputation, for connecting with like-minded professionals. It didn't work as a lead generator for me. I always thought that maybe I could dedicate more time in learning lead generation suite, because they have many cool paid for services that you can plug and play with. I never did. I paid for some of them and never get around to properly playing with them. So I kind of gave up and moved to other ways to generate my leads. So it was very interesting for me to hear that a big company like Gurtam tried the same, and they came to exactly the same conclusions, that leave LinkedIn to building your reputation, building your professional community, but don't use it for generation of leads. You can do it more effectively with your Google or Bing or whatever is platform of your choice, your search engine of your choice, and Meta.
Yep. Yeah, me too. I never used LinkedIn as a lead generation platform just for reputation, just connect with interesting people, to share with them my experience, but I think it's not so good for generation.
It would actually be interesting to find out. Maybe someone did use it for lead generation and they got results they wanted. So if someone is watching us, guys and ladies, and you use LinkedIn for lead generation and it worked as amazing lead generator, please tell us, or maybe please teach us how. Talk to us. How the hell have you done it? It would be great to find out.
Let's connect, and we organized event for you where you share your experience.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there will be a crowd of people who will want to hear from you too. Please come our way. And I especially from all three presentations, I know they say don't pick your favorites, but the second one was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, mine too. It's like how the boring company can declare that they're boring and doesn't be boring actually.
So second presentation was definitely my favorite. The lady who developed it works as a head of marketing in a company called Omnisend, and before that she was a creative brains behind Go Wilderness. So she did all that cool stuff like corgi races. She came up with their like marketing.
She's a really creative person.
Then she moved to a company called Omnisend that operated in B2B segment, and she was looking for to rediscover their brand identity. So what I found particularly revealing was, well, in the modern world, we often feel pressure, be it inner pressure or external pressure from the society, to be like young, cool, dynamic, as cool as possible, as energetic as possible, as fit as possible, always super effective, 24/7, no days off, no holidays, no illnesses, etc. What was revealing for me that actually in modern day you don't need to be cool, you need to be yourself.
Yep.
So authenticity is what really cool. Authenticity is new coolness, I feel like. And if you are boring, I think about myself as I can be quite boring. I have boring hobbies. I'm not ashamed of them. Sometimes we can't have boring life. So instead of pretending to be like super cool, you can say, you know what, I'm boring. Or whatever. I don't like hiking. I like watching rom-com at the weekend, or whatever floats you. So when she was looking for brand identity for Omnisend, she asked director leaders and she asked teams what they think about company and services, and many of them said, well, our services are quite boring, what do you want from us? And she said, great, here is our punchline, we are boring
but effective.
Yeah, but we're so good, it's boring. And she did like the whole thing about it. So they were giving boring baked beans at the conferences, wearing white t-shirts that were saying boring white t-shirt. And then they started like a social media campaign where members of the team share the boring day-to-day routine, and they quickly became viral because people love this stuff. Because they were authentic, they didn't pretend to be something that they were not, and instead they were sharing what they really are openly with the world. As a coach, I find it quite interesting, and I'm passionate about it. I'm actually passionate about the whole bring your whole self to work, because somehow people think that there is some kind of professional body or whatever entity that we are. And then there is almost different kind of entity that we are in non-work environment. And there is that we are a split where when we are to be seen as a professional, you need to be like that, and outside of work, you need to be like that. It kind of containerize, and sometimes we are not able to draw into experiences from other parts of our life. Like, for example, as mother, I might have some skills that I might find useful when I deal with team conflict, or vice versa. That persuasion technique that I learned working with C-suite of corporation could be really useful in persuading I don't know, electricity company to lower my bill or something. So we are same person, we are whole self, so we shouldn't really containerize, we should draw all entirety of our living experience.
Yeah, because people don't live only their work. It was a great insight too.
What do you think about the second presentation?
I like it as you as well, and I like their mantra, their rules. First rule I like for social media, like entertain, educate, and engage. And it was interesting how they combined the all things in one message. For example, if they're advertising, want to learn a new skill, like trigger, and they answer, denied, our interface is so smooth, you won't need to learn anything. Like, they're boring, their identity, you don't need to learn anything. It's like close customer pain, and engage, it's like, oh, it's really work. So there are three things only in advertisement.
You don't always need to join all three. You can do one element per video. I found it interesting because I have recently started experimenting with my social media, and I have like my personal TikTok account that I try to develop with mixed results. Let's put it this way. And I was thinking, what was I missing out? And when she said, "Oh, you need to use that formula: engage, educate, entertain," and you can variate, like you use one piece of content to educate, another piece of content to entertain, another one to engage your audience in some kind of discussion. And that was the moment when penny dropped, and I will definitely be using this formula. And it's so simple, 3 E's: engage, educate, entertain, and it's very adaptable, right? So we can see what elements our audience reacts to the best, and maybe make it like a front runner, and help to pass our message to the audience.
It's cool when she said that when they allowed it to themselves be boring, they started to be playful, and their advertisement, their social media became fun, and people like it. So it's cool. And I like words like we allowed themselves be silly, and this is my actually problem. I can allow myself to be silly because like I'm a professional. What are you talking about?
So what do you think is missing? What can help Claude to be more playful in the world?
In my Instagram and my TikTok, I started filming some trends from TikTok, but not marketers pay because my target audience isn't marketers, by paid of entrepreneurs. So let's find out how it works later, because now I can rate the results because it's the short time.
I would actually love if we come up with something clever to support people to bring their whole selves to work and find their like authentic voice. I don't know how to do it straight away, so we are not advertising anything, but it would be great to come up with some kind of a support structure, even for ourselves and for others around us, because I feel that's where we can free a lot of creative, playful energy, and people are drawn to it. We like when others are authentic, and I think we can feel it almost intuitively when someone is pretending to be something they're not, and when something acts from their nature they are. And I think you are really engaged with the third discussion as well, because you asked many questions to the person, so I'll leave it to you. Please tell our listeners about it.
Because we are the same field with Siemens, because he's sophomore and we both work in Victor, so there are common things, and I like his presentation in part how he very interesting told us about the sales funnel actually. And his question was great. What are you doing if your website converts only 1%? What are you doing with another 99% of people, visitors? And wow, it's just usual. He was talking about usual sales funnel and how they talking about this. It's great. It was really cool. I like it a lot. And for me, like nothing interesting in his presentation, but I have several questions because we work at the same field, so I can just what I actually try to do at this event. I would like make a joke with three people told us something, like I would like to start with the same question. What was your biggest challenge? And the second one, people laughing because like they know me, and I asked the same question and they are laughing. So it was great for me. Just became a famous person.
A magic number, what can I say? But it's also great questions. Great question for self-reflection, and a great question to get to gain insight into people's professional life and where they see themselves in all that environment.
My insight from the third presentation was how many budget I should spend on building brands. So there is two advertising campaigns. First, you generate leads to your company, and the second, you build brands. So how the rate of building brands and generate leads, and he told, if you have extra money from your generating lead campaign, you should build a brand. Yeah, like 60 for lead generation and 40 building brands. It's so cool, it's so easy. So now I know how budget I should spend on building brands, because earlier I spent all money on the lead generation because I work with companies. There is no extra money, so now I go to CEO and ask, maybe we should try some money to build our brands. I don't know.
And is there something else that is there anything else that anything else from the third presentation that you will be implementing in your day-to-day?
Yeah, what as of sales funnels, at the first stage, when you attract people into your website, you should implement something like lead magnet to collect phone numbers, emails, and something else to visitors. So this is cool idea, and some at my first work I do it. It was quite crazy because we made lead magnet as a sales thing. You solve some easy test for you, bring your contacts, and in previous month we made some deals.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. Just tested themselves with several questions, and after that they bought. Amazing. Yeah, just usual test, nothing special. And I should do it with my second project, so I think it's
Quite cool.
yeah.
And you know what? It doesn't cost much money.
It costs anything actually.
Another insight that I actually had from the meeting, for many companies, especially small business, medium-sized business, they see marketing campaigns or marketing strategy as massive cost exercise, or building brand identity as massive cost exercise. But things that we heard this week, most of them don't cost a lot. If anything, many of them are free. It's they're just clever things that anyone can do. Personal companies can do it with like zero budget,
And
they'll be effective.
the last thing he told us about, it's not was my insight, but he proved my thoughts like this about stage company. Like if you
different stages,
yeah,
the
yeah,
company
yeah.
can be.
Minimal, they on the stage opportunity, the growth and sustainable. So if you are and at every stage you should do different things. It was cool idea for everyone because like at the first stage, what company usually do? Like they afraid of sales. They afraid of spending money on advertisement. But it's the main thing that they should do at this stage.
Yeah. A bit counterintuitively, right? Because when someone thinks about their budgets and they want to be like about and careful about money spent, but it's almost counterintuitively that they need to invest into those areas to have a better chance to develop, expand, and scale up later on.
Because they are unknown. I'm sorry guys, they are nothing because they are known, and you should spend money to attract some leads.
And it was a great event just for networking, wasn't it? It was. I was
Meeting friends from previous.
Yeah, many of them actually, and I was pleasantly surprised to see what a great crowd it was, and it seemed to be an international crowd as well. We bumped into people from literally all over the world, which was a very surprising thing in Vilnius. Admirable, and it generally felt like people were having good time, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a great and good.
Food was great too, I must say. I came there straight after work, so I was very peckish at the time when I arrived. But there was some very tasty meal, and they really made
Your day?
yeah, my whole week.
Yeah, it was a cool event, and there is I want to tell my audience about cool thing in Lithuania, Poland, Estonia probably, and Czech. It's an app for your phone. It's Joiner. It's not an advertisement. I don't have any money from that.
Oh no, they don't pay us. Maybe they should.
I asked
I don't know.
I asked Eddie for that, but it's cool up finding some cool events like this, like or entertainment events or sports events and so on and so on. So you should try and find your event. Then you can connect with other people and find your friends and company. Actually, with Irene, we met at Giri event.
I think so.
Yep.
It was amazing. But you know what? The last time I was in the UK, they even have joiner in London now. So yeah, with my sheer surprise, I found like something cool happening there in that space as well. But yeah, it's free. It's absolutely free.
And
They
you
don't
can
charge you for it.
create your own events and collect people to them. So if you want, follow me in Joiner. I send you link in description.
Well, as another way to promote your business and tell people what you do without spending any cash, why not?
Yep.
Some free publicity.
Press like, subscribe, press like, comment what you do, what you think about this kind of events, when you network, learn something new and so on. Follow in her TikTok. Do you have any YouTube channel?
No, I don't actually. I had one Instagram account, but I haven't been developing it for years. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. I haven't been there for years. So I guess it's TikTok and LinkedIn for me, and
Okay.
Instagram and YouTube for you.
Okay, so see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.